For over a century, our understanding of the universe has relied on Einstein's general relativity. It elegantly maps how massive objects warp and curve the fabric of spacetime. Yet, beneath its monumental success, a quiet structural flaw has always lingered. The left side of Einstein's field equation is pure geometry. It describes the precise curvature of the universe with mathematical perfection. The right side, the stress-energy tensor, functions through a different logic. It tells the equation where the matter and energy are located. It requires us to measure the mass in the universe and plug the numbers in by hand. Despite decades of rigorous physics, we still lack a pure geometric reason for why matter actually generates gravity. We know that it does, but the equations cannot tell us why. Physics lacks a structural origin for the very source of gravity. Matter is required to make the math work, but the math cannot explain where the matter comes from. The observer-dependent theory of everything, or ODTO, addresses this asymmetry by exploring the relationship between gravity and the observer. It asks if gravity could be a property generated from within the act of observation itself. In this framework, the observer is defined by three specific variables: cognitive coherence, configurational inertia, and pairwise synchronization. The theory investigates how these three elements generate a gravitational field as they reach a state of synchronization. This framework treats mass and energy as mathematical consequences of observation. If the underlying math holds, our physical environment is a direct result of how observers coordinate. To understand how observation creates mass, the ODTO framework divides reality into two distinct layers. First is the potential layer, an infinite space of unresolved quantum amplitudes. Second is the actualized layer, the rigid causal reality we experience. Bridging the gap between the infinite and the actual is a specific mathematical mechanism called the sinc projector. This operator acts as a filter. It forces the chaotic, multidimensional possibilities of the quantum universe to collapse and choose a definitive physical state. This brings us to Lemma 7 in the framework, the proof of idempotency. In mathematics, an idempotent operation cannot be undone by applying it again. Once the sinc projector forces a state into reality, that reality is permanent. The paper derives this purely from the geometry of the projection. It achieves this without relying on circular logic or assuming Einstein's field equations are already in place. This proof establishes that the act of observation is an unbreakable anchor, the foundation for physical reality. With the sinc projector established as a mathematical anchor, we can now apply it directly to the variables of the observer. This diagram outlines the specific mathematical calculation. When you feed the density of observer coherence through the SYNC projector, the derivative yields the exact stress-energy tensor. Mass and energy emerge as the mathematical footprint of synchronizing observers. The masses enter a closed loop, proving energy conservation. Because the projection is mathematically stable, the resulting energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is an inherent mathematical property of the projection. This methodical derivation removes the need to manually plug mass into the equation. The framework successfully constructs the exact source of gravity. The asymmetry of general relativity is resolved through the derivation of its own source. Elegant mathematics must eventually survive contact with the real universe. To verify these equations, we have to scale them up from the structure of the observer to the scale of the cosmos. That brings us to dark energy, the force responsible for accelerating the expansion of our universe. This equation demonstrates the calculation of the cosmological constant. Instead of measured physical weights, it relies exclusively on two geometric constants, pi and the golden ratio. Computed to 50 decimal places, it outputs a specific density value for dark energy, 0.6886. In 2018, the European Space Agency's Planck satellite released its measurements of the cosmic microwave background. Its recorded value for dark energy was 0.6889. The geometric calculation aligns with the physical measurement within a fraction of a percent. This calculation involved no numerical tweaking or fitting to match the data. The geometry of the mathematical framework demanded this number. The density of dark energy appears as an inevitable geometric necessity built into the fabric of observation. The math remains accurate even at the absolute edge of reality, aligning with established thermodynamic equations for the energy flux across an event horizon. These results suggest looking at the mechanics of synchronization rather than endlessly searching the void for external matter. Gravity itself is the synchronization of observers. Humans are active participants in the physics of the cosmos. The continuous synchronization of observation provides the fundamental mathematical gravity that holds the universe together.